Awakening Blueprint, Book 1 of 3, The Higher Self, Part 2, written by BenArion and read by Lucille Kuhn. We all have a conscious and an unconscious mind. We all have unconscious reactions, which include dualistic belief systems. This is no one's fault. We are equally innocent, and the mind can be healed by practicing the habit of forgiveness. Your projections into the worldly events are not truth. They're just an unconscious projection of your mind that feels guilt and separation. You will understand more and more that the world is not what you think it is. There is not even a world out there that is real. It's just a repetitive ego mind script. It repeats itself over and over again, but comes in different expressions and forms. To heal your unconscious guilt and separation, forgiveness is the key, because everything you label as their fault, their problem, or the blaming of others isn't coming from someone out there. It's a projection from your unconscious mind, but it will disguise itself as symbols in the world, so this illusion can continue. The ego mind is a talented storyteller and wouldn't reveal itself to you. The ego identifies itself with the body and the story. What you truly are is eternal spirit. It's your choice to engage with the ego mind or the inner guidance of spirit. The truth is that even the higher dimensions are merely symbols for God. God is beyond symbols, but it projects itself into this universe at a level we can understand it. New Age teachings have many symbols. These are not truth in themselves. They're just symbols for what you are able to accept in the moment and understand. That's why it's called illusion, because you're not seeing God in physical reality. You are just seeing an empty projection. Love is not out there. It's within you, never separated from you. God can be felt if you truly understand that you are innocent and that everyone else is innocent too. For indeed, no one has ever done anything wrong. It's just the ego mind that keeps this wheel of illusionary evolution spinning. Love is the only truth, and that's why forgiveness is like a shortcut to awaken from the dream of duality. You may say, but I believe in the horrible things out there in the world, and I want to heal the world. That's also an illusion, because you cannot heal anyone outside yourself. You can only heal the world by forgiving it. You believe that all the madness out there is truth and is a part of the learning process and a part of this duality experiment. But it's just the ego mind doing its thing, just as it always has done, but in different ways and forms. You can't stop it, because you are the only one that can undo it by going beyond it. Forgive what you see, because it will eventually reach everyone when they are ready to let go of the madness of their own story and trust in spirit instead of their ego. And your forgiveness process will also heal the minds that you think are out there, because this universe is holographic. It's all now. You affect future and even past outcomes through your commitment of forgiveness. I hope I've pulled up the roots of the most common spirituality and New Age beliefs, because that's what I want. I want you to step out of your comfort zone, of the me and the others, and understand that there is no one else, that the ego mind is like a crazy carousel that we believe in and that we think we can change. The carousel of the ego mind makes us feel disoriented, and we cling to the ride as if our life depended on it. But in truth, your life cannot die, so depend on eternal spirit and let go. The ego mind will just create larger and even more extraordinary stories of spirituality and enlightenment that you can feel secure in. But all comfort zones, all fears, all beliefs will surrender to the eternal spirit within us. Not until then will you find true peace. The ego will feel hurt, and it will feel as if everything is falling apart. But it's just a decision to choose to view life through spirit, and you will come home to God realization in your own unique way. It can be compared to taking a toy from a little child. The child will cry because it feels the toy is important. But from your perspective, you know that it's just a projection of importance that this child has placed on the toy. Only from your perspective, this is easy to understand. Sometimes, from our perspectives and beliefs, it is the same as the child. We will feel a separation if someone says that what we experience or place a value on is not important. But from a higher vantage point, we could see that we hold on is not truly important, even though we won't acknowledge that at all times. Every teaching, word, image, etc. on this earth is a symbol for the Christ within us, and no symbol is more true than the other. It's just a way for our mind to reflect itself within the illusion of diversity. The interpretation of the symbols is dependent on which glasses you wear and look through, either through the ego mind or the eternal Christ spirit. There is only one eternal Christ within us. Meditate on the love of Christ and you will be guided. Don't let yourself be distracted by the everyday loop of the collective ego mind. It will keep on spinning with its own agenda, which is the idea of separation and duality. God or Christ isn't out there for you to find. God is silently waiting for you to let go of the struggle and return home. What is seemingly out there is just a confused ego mind trying to mimic truth, creating levels within levels, worlds within worlds, and so on, when in truth you don't need that. It's not wrong to experience this world and all its levels of mind states, but it's not truth. It's all a matter of choosing to be the core or choosing to experience the layers. If you know the core, you will know that nothing is really important, because what you truly are cannot be removed. It is. The layers are symbols of the eternal core of love. If you would choose to be awake within this dream called life, you would not fear the world and believe in duality, because it's you who creates duality by seeing everything as separated from your true self. Train your mind. It's like daily meditation to forgive everything and look through the eyes of Christ. When it becomes a habit, you will simply heal the world because you see it as whole. You will be at peace because you are the cause of peace. People will fight and start wars until they find peace within themselves and understand the illusion of separation. So don't expect anyone else to change just because you have chosen to awaken. It does not matter if you speak of what peace is with someone who is in fear. It has to play itself out. Everything you see within this world is there because we believe in it at some level. But you can step out of it and be a Christ within this world, and it has nothing to do with the ego of duality. You will see everyone as Christ and see the true light within all people, no matter what they have done. You are only forgiving another part of your unconscious self. So be aware of yourself when you see something you want to judge, and when someone tells you that you are wrong. Forgive them and know that this is not important. No matter what level of duality presents itself, it is not truth. It is just a symbol. It is better to feel at peace more than being right. You can't have the right answer within this illusion. People will not understand what Christ is until they open their hearts to unconditional love and accept that separation is an illusion. So, the next time you see a drama, know that no one of them is right. They are just stuck in the ego, unconscious mind, and yes, it feels very real. If both parties were conscious of the truth, they would be at peace, because they would know that they were doing was just a duality projection. So let people play that they don't know, that they are not worthy. You can only let them know truth, they whom are truly ready to receive, and that will usually come from within them as some kind of surrender, because they don't want to fight the fight anymore. And this is good, because within this surrender from within, you allow Spirit to show you truth. You, as a person, can be a symbol for truth, but you should never force it on anyone else. So, be the truth of the world silently in your heart. People will think that what they are holding on to is important, but you will know it's just a temporary symbol for the mind to awaken from its own dream. People will be offended if you tell them that what they believe in is not truth, and I don't encourage you to do that either. It's not necessary, because it's a part of the dream. You can't teach love to someone by giving them symbolic truths, but you can point the way to the heart, and one step at a time you will walk with Christ. There is nothing wrong with teaching people about the different levels within the illusion and so on, but the core of who you truly are is love, and you will feel the love within your life when you start to forgive. You will heal, you will teach, and you will create your own unique symbols for truth from your experiences. Your projection of words and actions within this world will be a symbol for others to awaken from the dream of duality and separation. It doesn't matter what you do exactly. What matters is love. To clarify the word illusion, Illusion serves its purpose where you are right now. Everything feels real, and you will never be forced to awaken from what you think is truth. What is real and what is not real is all about perspective. Christ will awaken you from your sleep, and what you think is reality or truth will not be what you thought it to be. Some would actually not be ready to know or hear truth because it would frighten them, which is also an illusion. The ultimate fear we have is death, and it's a part of the unconscious ego mind. Forgive the fear in the world. The death and destruction is a part of your unconscious mind. There is no separation between you and the world. Through forgiveness, you will walk with Christ, and you will bring understanding into this world with clarity instead of running around in desperation and fear of fixing the problem. People will feel the love, and you will heal the collective unconscious mind through you. Remember, the ego mind will always want to evolve. It wants to be complex. It wants to learn and learn even more. It will never get enough. The Christ within you knows that knowledge is illusion and that knowledge is made up. Love is the true knowledge because love is and will never be replaced or upgraded. God is eternal. I am, and you always know that this light is there for you no matter what. Forgiveness will undo the patterns of resistance, and you will become more and more calibrated with the Christ energies. Love is even beyond energy, but within this universe, it's interpreted as love energy. Meditate on Christ each morning and before you go to sleep, and you will start to notice, subtly at first, but you will come to insights just by this simple way of connecting. It is when we have surrendered and forgiven all of our illusionary projections and beliefs of separation that we can truly operate within this world in a less attached way, with the understanding that nothing is important, and actually feel and understand that everything is equally important. There is nothing to win or lose within this game of duality. Your service will matter even more when your service comes from a place of unconditional love. There is no me that wants to be seen and loved. You will be here to love the one. We will be able to see the world as it truly is. I know from my own experiences that going through all of these layers of illusion is really painful to the ego, and in the end, it's not my will, but thy will be done. The more you understand and feel your Christ nature, the more you will be able to interact within this world as peace, as love, and go about your day to day, no matter what is seemingly happening out there. The mission is to bring all home to ourselves, instead of distracting ourselves with the changing outer chaos. As a whole being, we will be able to help where it truly matters. We will engage with the illusions in a way that exposes them without effort, just by being truth. You can't lose something that is whole, that is complete, that is already love. I'm not trying to offend your belief system of this universe and all its levels. I am humble and want to share that truth isn't out there as you say, it is within you. The way we feel and think about others is actually how we feel and think about ourselves. So be aware of your thoughts and feelings, forgive them, and give them to God. And in the end, you will think, act, and be as God. How you personally interpret my symbolic words in this blueprint is totally up to you. I am just a symbol of your conscious and unconscious mind. The words are holographic in nature and will be translated differently depending on your perspective. Judge me or love me, it doesn't matter because we are one. You can change your lifestyle and integrate your highest vision now, no matter where you are right now, as well as how you feel. Everything moves in cycles within this universe. One of these cycles is now coming to an end, and this planet is in a process or event which can be compared to an upgrade of an old computer. A new software is being downloaded into the consciousness of humanity, and Earth has known about this for a long time. As every cell in our body communicates with the rest of the body, the Earth communicates with every human being on Earth, but also with other planets and vast star systems. We are a part of an even larger cycle within this universe, which unfolds on many planes of existence. Everything is switching or adapting itself to a higher frequency, and just as we would switch channels on the radio, there is noise disturbance in between the existing planes. Change is a process. Our minds need space to adapt and calibrate within these higher frequency bands. It's a very real thing, as everything is vibration, sound, and light. We are transitioning into a new, higher perspective of what life is. The truth can no longer be hidden. Don't wait for anyone else to manifest your dreams. Act and know that you are the source of your creations. I've noticed that many people wait for things or for their dreams to happen. We can't wait for heaven on earth, as it is who we have to attune to our lifestyle. Of course, we get a lot of support. Don't wait for any channeled messages to tell you the latest news about what's happening, as you are the news itself, and you decide what you want to happen. Instead of trying to change other people's behaviors, focus on your behavior and feelings, as this is within your power to transmute and heal. See yourself as a cell within a body, and your vibration will affect the other cells, as frequency affects matter. When your instrument is in harmony, other cells will listen to that and adapt. There is no external reality as it may seem. There are as many realities as there are people. There is enough for everyone. There is a higher field of love that many people listen to at this moment in time, and some people will hear and others will not. You can't blame any politicians, any sources outside yourself for what is happening, as everyone is connected. This is why most people get stuck, because they believe in what is outside of themselves instead of acting for their highest joy now, no matter what the world is like. The system is designed to keep people in a limited mind state and repeat the same things over and over again. What will happen or what will not happen doesn't matter. Change is like a flower. It has everything stored within our DNA, and we can struggle not to experience it. But it's much easier if we can embrace and choose the highest joy for ourselves in each moment and allow life to unfold. Don't wait any longer for anything to happen outside of yourself before you act on your dreams. Be the one that now boldly sets sail with joy, as what we call the veil between our world and the higher spheres is gradually shifting. Manifestation will follow your thoughts and intent, so it's all about receiving and focusing on what you want in life rather than what you don't want. There is no one outside yourself that creates reality, as you are the creator of your life experience. Not all people will want to follow the path of truth, love, and peace, but you do. So be the change. That's why you are here, to live and be an example for the change we call ascension. Wait for no one and nothing, as you are the one who is love in action. You are here to empower people to see what we call external reality is a reflection of your mental attitude and beliefs. The core of empowerment that I want to remind you about is to know that you create life from what you speak, do, and believe, which has nothing to do with what is outside of you. Don't compare yourself with others or worldly circumstances. Choose to create from your heart instead of being a victim because you believe you have no power. Reality will not change until you choose to be the change. Act from your willpower with love and intent, and life cannot do anything else than change. Life may seem disconnected and random, but it is connected, and every choice you make, everything you radiate, will have an effect on the overall consciousness, as empowered thoughts and feelings transmute lower thought forms. One part of our role here on earth is to ground the higher frequency into the earth and its consciousness, or we can also say that we are conduits or antennas for Mother Earth, so she can receive this energy. You don't need to know the truth outside of yourselves, which is mirrored to you in symbols. Truth cannot be found in the world. The truth isn't a thing or a certain belief. Truth is the symphony of love that you can feel when you are centered and fulfilled by your own inner space. It's an energy beyond concepts, ideas, and duality. So stop looking for truth outside yourself, in people, and in events. Instead, give yourself the time to slow down and reflect on the inner peace, which is who you truly are. Due to unconscious programming, people tend to think and focus more on what they don't want instead of what they want to be, do, or have within their lives. The unconscious mind attaches itself to the problem instead of focusing on a solution. To give you an example, if someone read a negative post on a particular subject, and this person is wasting all their energy on trying to defend or change anyone's belief, then they are just feeding their unconscious mind with more fire instead of with the solution that would give them more energy and inspiration. You cannot create a solution on the same frequency level as the problem. You have to raise your vibration by choosing more harmonious and conscious thought patterns and let your feelings be your guidance system. When you feel good, you know you think thoughts that serve you. If you feel very drained, it's an indication that you are not in harmony with your highest vision and intent. True freedom is to know that you are the creator of your experiences and that no one else can impose themselves onto you. But many times we let people impose their reality onto ours, again, due to the unconscious programming that we have no power. What we call reality is much of a distraction, as it will give you more of the same over and over again until you change your mind. If you truly want to live a life without addictions, without a struggle, you slowly lighten up that bulb of awareness within you. Tune into feelings of gratitude, happiness, or whatever makes you feel lighter, and hold this state as long as you are capable. It's like training your muscles, because if you repeat something often enough, it will be what we call a habit, and your habits will become your lifestyle. Don't let the state of the world show you the way to your joy, but create your joy from within. Life does not happen to you. Life is created by you. When you start to take responsibility for your inner peace and always act without getting stuck in what we call outer reality, you become a magnet for a change. You cannot change this world if you are encapsulated in a sphere of fear, believing in everything you see around you. You have to break yourself free by raising your frequency, and this will also help you to feel everything and see everything with a higher understanding. It's better to broadcast thoughts of love, which will raise the collective thought patterns, instead of clinging to your fears of the external world. This is what media does best: create fear and hopelessness in the minds of the people. You are more capable of assisting or helping people when you are grounded in knowing that all people have the power to create worlds within them. You have to be a living example of this lifestyle, and your life will touch many people's hearts, as everything is connected. Your focus on raising your frequency so it is a match with higher thought forms like joy, love, etc., will affect this world and its collective consciousness. So people who may be unknowing will be guided to their destination. You are here to live your truth and anchor this knowing and live it in every moment. If someone judges people they don't know in real life, it is like guessing how a fruit will taste before you have actually tasted it. You don't have a clue. It is very comical that people give most of their energy trying to change other people or convince them of something instead of living their dream and passion. This is what matters. Never judge anyone outside yourself. This is mastery, as you know that they are just a reflection of your inner fears and beliefs. Many people are not aware of this, so be an inspiration and do not respond to their limited projections. Love them as they are. We have all been there. My simple advice is to know thyself, as everything you project from your mind is about you. No matter what other people do, say, or believe, you are the creator of your life experience. People say that some are wrong and some are right, but they are equally correct. As we all create our perspectives, we are creating self-fulfilling prophecies. If you ask for it, believe, project it, vibrate it, you will receive it. It is that simple. Stop looking outside of yourself for answers. As you progress to mastery of self, you will know that you are responsible for your life. This is what the Planet Earth School is teaching us with patience and love. If anyone judges you, it's not about the other person in truth, as it's only a limited spectrum of thoughts and beliefs that create separation instead of understanding. We have been unconsciously programmed throughout this lifetime to depend on external things, letting these decide for us how to feel instead of choosing a state we prefer just simply because it's a part of us and allowing it to blossom. People will ride the cycle of duality until we choose to take responsibility for our projections. And that is everything we think, say, and do. Then you will be free. But it doesn't matter what I say here, as many people will try to find other people to be responsible for their lives. So, ask yourself, what do I want to create in my life? You always get the core of what you believe. Some may believe that they have to struggle to get the results they want, and some believe that it's very simple to get what you want. Both are very correct. It's all about their relationship with self. As you start to vibrate your inner beliefs truly, they will start to manifest. Initiations will come to see if you have truly mastered unconditional love, no matter what people think or believe. To raise your vibration is an inner choice and something you focus on in every moment. It's not a part-time thing. To raise your frequency is a very real and physical process. It's not a new age belief. It's a science in itself. Frequency is what matters. People can deny this as long as they want to, but those who know this truth will take charge of their lives, let go of their victimhood, and create good in their lives because they know they are worthy and whole. You aren't separated from humanity. You are humanity individualized. I will state once again that your thoughts, feelings, and intent will create your so-called reality. So learn to master these inner qualities as they are the core foundation for your life. You always have a choice to create from love or fear, no matter what happens in the world. And it's good to practice meditation and to understand that you are the bearer of peace and love. Every day, in every moment, I live through my heart. I know that my heart guides me even when I'm not conscious about it. I'm not writing to convince, and I'm not writing to change anyone. I walk the talk in everyday life like anyone else, and it's important for people to understand that you have to change your thoughts and practice on becoming consciously aware of your inner energy and emotional frequency. Take responsibility as you create what we call reality. No one else will create it for you. People get stuck in other people's lives and think that they have to adapt to them or any certain rules. Love is not a rule. Love is what matters. People who think and believe that they are victims will continue to attract that until they understand that they created it all. The universe is not judgmental. It gives everyone what they believe in and thinks about. Doubt and fear are the only blockages, and these are becoming more and more obvious as they cannot hide from you anymore. You have to stare them in the face and release them. It is a process, and it is different for everyone. I live a life in joy, in what we can call abundance, and it's not about money. It's actually about feeling good and knowing that you created it to begin with. This is true freedom. I do not know anything except myself. For those who don't know me personally, I am very focused and determined when it comes to creating within physical reality, as it is my speciality. The ego is no longer a threat to me, as it is more a part of who I am. You can have an ego and be spiritual. It is not a problem, as long as you are aware and present. Don't deny that you are a human being here on earth, and don't try to remove such a divine gift. Play with it. And if people don't like you, it's not a problem either, because you cannot hide forever. You know that personality of yours is a part of you. This is why people do not always feel good, because they adapt to things and people they truly do not prefer, instead of creating consciously what they do like. If you suppress your joy and inner spark, you will feel drained. But if you encourage and take small steps towards your vision, you will thrive. Where I am at the moment is about fine-tuning the inner sensations of frequencies, as truth is found within. Let your focus simply be to feel as good as you can now. And if you don't feel that good, act and behave to the best of your ability as if you already are what you are seeking. What you are seeking is seeking you, as frequencies are magnetic, and it's a law within this physical universe that what you focus on and think about most of the time will make itself known to you in some way. There is no outer reality that affects us. The reality is a mirror of our inner state of mind or thoughts. If you feel stuck in life, something as simple as giving yourself the time to stop whatever you are doing and do something that changes your focus could get you closer to what you do want. Every thought is like a seed, and your vision can be in every now to plant thoughts that give you energy and a habit of trusting instead of uncertainty. Your lifestyle is what you want it to be. You can blame someone else for a while, but your understanding will hit you in the face as you become more aware of the unlimited universe that is within you. It will feel impossible at first, taking those small steps in trust, if everything is the opposite of what you want. Begin to acknowledge that you've created everything that you experience right now and accept it. And tell yourself in any way you know that it's time for a change. Be and follow your heart's vision. You may not know how, but you know it will be possible. This is the leap that we all make at some time. When the wheels start to spin, it will be easier and easier to trust that what you think and feel is what will manifest. It's all very simple. You have everything in your life because it's a match of your frequency. Your brain is a frequency transmitter of great magnitude, and you are broadcasting 24/7. Don't be afraid of your thoughts. They are a program, or like a tape recorder that has repeated itself so many times, and you feel safe hearing that somehow. To reprogram this unconscious tape, begin to do things differently. This is where the wheat is sorted from the chaff, as making things different is not always for everyone. You have to break these cycles of habit through conscious choice. The universe will work with you always. You create all of it. This is why outer events within this world will not affect you if you are not in some way indulged in them. This is not ignorance. This is mastery. Because if you train your mind to be in a frequency of love for longer and longer times, this is your mission. You will notice that much of duality will become an illusion. As you know, everyone is the creator of their lives. You will become the gateway for people to access another way of living their lives. I will give you an example. If someone would hear noise instead of music on a radio channel and did not know how the radio switch worked, that person would immediately switch frequencies to something that was in harmony with his or her higher vision, without effort. Everyone is where they should be, or else they wouldn't be there. So don't let yourself believe that what you see within this world is about saving anyone. You are here to consciously tune into a higher love frequency, and those who are likened in frequency will follow. It is natural evolution. It will come in waves. This is also called ascension, in a cool word. The world is truly within you. As you look at it, what do you see? Because everything you see is yourself, mirrored. People who are focused on the lack of things will create more lack, as this is a universal law. This is why it's important to slowly work with yourself towards a more harmonious range of feelings. Feelings are the language of the soul. You know what is good for you and the right way when you feel good. I want to be more practical in my techniques and ways of integrating a lifestyle that makes you feel good and that inspires you to create your dreams. This is not always easy, but it's possible. There is a structure. There is universal law within this universe, just as the law of gravity. There is the law of attraction. Your brain is a frequency transmitter, and your feelings can be compared to an inner GPS guidance system. When you feel good, you are in what we call a higher frequency band, and this means you are in tune with the universe. So the simplest tip I can give you now is to feel as good as you are capable of at in this moment. It may not always be a feeling of bliss, but you can begin with an appreciation of everything you have within your life, as this is a good start. Instead of trying to change what is outside you that you are not satisfied with, understand that it is so because you are in tune with it, or else it wouldn't be there. You cannot experience what you aren't a match to in frequency. The world isn't happening to you. You make it happen. People who criticize others and don't feel good about themselves actually create this reality themselves, mostly unconsciously. They cannot see or understand that what they think and project creates their entire life. People who are skeptics and judge others will attract more that strengthens their beliefs of this perspective, as you always receive a reflection. You can only be in charge of your feelings and thoughts, and this is very important to understand, as you aren't a victim of anything outside yourself. You are where you are right now because you created it. This is empowerment and the first step towards being a conscious creator, what we call an ascended master. To take responsibility for everything that is projected within this reality. Do you think a master from the higher dimensions would ever come here and criticize and engage in what is wrong within this world? Or do you think the master would point people in a direction that they can choose exactly what they want, as everyone is living their creations in full 3D experience? People are confused and depressed due to that their energy bodies are clearing, and it's depressing for a while to let go of the old self and its limiting beliefs, because it was a part of your identity. It's not wrong to feel as you feel. It's very good. So, what do you choose to be, do, or have? There are no right or wrong answers, as there are no external forces that tell you what to do. People are ready when they are ready to understand this. When I see what we call negative people, I just see a part of myself that is confused and cannot see or understand what they are projecting. The mind can become so confused and programmed that it's actually responding like a robot. So it's not his or her fault. This is what many people go through. They let go of their robotic side and become humble and loving towards one another through forgiveness. People who are aware of their actions and words do things with intent and never project hate towards any other living being. This is self-mastery. No one outside yourself can control you. You only let people control you, and this is hard to understand. Your job isn't to behave as others want you to behave. Your life is about defining you and what you want to experience within this life. Some people feel offended by others on the street or the internet, but if you truly know who you are and what you stand for, you won't let anyone hinder you. There isn't even need to defend yourself against negative people, as the simple act of defense makes the negativity even more real. There isn't any external negativity. All negativity is within you, and you are the one in charge. Focus daily to hold a high vibration, and I promise you that your feelings will go up and down like an elevator, and it will feel like everything is just happening to you. But the longer you focus on keeping this loving feeling, you will notice that you are in charge, and the best thing you can give someone is your joy. Don't let people make you feel responsible for how they feel. People who feel that you have a responsibility towards them to act and behave in a certain way to make them feel happy really have to find this within themselves. This isn't always an easy lesson. You can, of course, be a guiding light of hope because you create happiness from within rather than depending on something or someone else. Ascension isn't always a simple path. as it's all about understanding your responsibilities. And some don't want to take responsibility for everything within. As we create our realities, sometimes people get stuck in others' creations. There are wars and conflict on this planet due to limited awareness and understanding. Your simple act of taking care of yourself and stopping the war within your mind is a huge step for humanity, as we are all like as interconnected cells on Mother Earth. You can be and live the highest vision and expression of yourself. Everything is synchronized and interwoven. Focus on your spiritual path and awakening. Give less energy to negative propaganda that is outside of yourself. Everything that is happening on the so-called outside is just a fading drama. It's a 3D world falling apart. This is confusing to the mind, so be the truth and ground yourself. The mindset on earth has been, be afraid and be suspicious. Compare that to the new mindset, which is, be love, be joy, and trust. Of course, some will feel it's naive if someone states that. People are not used to being happy and in total joy. This is how it's going to be on earth, so you can change your focus starting today. It's up to you. So why wait? Some will hold on to the fear even when change is happening because of old programmed beliefs. It's like a deep trance state that is now melting like snow in springtime. People fear that they will be deceived, but now is the time to be the highest vision of yourself. Understand that you are a miracle. You are a part of an adventure, and you chose to be part of it. There is no outer threat to be afraid of. You can go beyond this by following your heart. I doubt that people love to believe in negative things. There is no way out. There is only one way in, and that is through your heart. This earth society has been built on distorted ideas and beliefs. What matters in all of this is the truth of each human being. A lot of people are suffering. I will not go into why they are where they are because it's different for each soul. Everything isn't what it seems to be, which I've said before. We get caught up in what we see with our physical senses, but when we start to feel and see with the heart, and it is not a match with what we see in the physical world around us, it's really important to stay firm and trust your heart. The 3D frequency is very dense, and illusions are frozen on the surface, and sometimes we get stuck. Melt this frozen river within your heart and let your feelings tell you the truth. The heart is intelligent and needs no evidence. Truth is, no matter what beliefs we have in the end. Some people believe in their own knowledge so strongly that they really think it is truth. To practice detachment and know that your knowledge is temporary is a good thing. It will be replaced with higher and higher truths. Our heart has no need of knowing. It is more into being truth in the now. To say that I know nothing isn't popular from an ego standpoint. It's more popular to say, I know so much, look at me. Everything we know, everything we think we know, we have to let go of. You will intuitively feel very simply if something is positive or negative. There is no need to be in fear. It's just a simple, no thank you. I can see it for what it is. See these attempts of negative powers as a desperate effort to try to lure us back into the illusion. Do you fall for that? Sooner or later, these things will be obvious to everyone. Teachers of light focus only on the positive and do not feed the negative. I don't care one bit about the negative forces out there because they are not important. They have helped us to understand what we don't want, and that is enough. This is out of love, not ignorance. They will find their way of love when it is time for them. So I only focus on what I can do to raise my vibration. It's not ego, it's your mission. We came to this planet to be the change. And how can we be the change? You live it as if it exists right now. There is not one bit of time to give focus to any negative force outside yourself. Some may translate this as nothing will happen if we just sit still and do nothing. I want to say to you that by raising your vibration or frequency, you will affect everything and do things you couldn't even imagine you could or would do. The light frequencies totally change your being and the way you look at and perceive things. It's like you get a higher perspective on things. We don't always have that higher perspective, and this makes us confused because we don't understand why certain things happen. Instead of running around blindfolded and doing things which won't get you very far, it's better to move slowly and love yourself more and more every day. Eventually, you won't even care to look at negativity anymore because it's not available to your mindset anymore. It's like it's non-existent. You have switched channel frequencies, and this is by choice. Some people may want to remain in the channel of violence, etc. But we will do all we can to help them simply by being our highest version, without force, only through inspiration. We will see negativity in a higher light, and instead of being dragged down by it, we will transform it. You can only be manipulated when you are in a state of fear. Outer forces want to make you feel this way in every way possible, and they only succeed if you are out of balance and if you don't know who you truly are. Ground yourself and practice the art of being your highest vision in every moment. No one knows the whole picture. The loving support we get would shock us if we felt it truly. We get stuck in beliefs or the all-knowing Messiah complex, and we forget to feel that we are indeed under loving guidance. Be strong and choose love. You are protected. Be the highest vision of yourself. You can take the leap of faith through emotional stretching and trust. Love doesn't need to be defended or proven, so I recommend not to engage in other people's dramas. You can be an observer of the drama and see it for what it is. It's a temporary movement that has to play itself out. There will come a time when we will just have to give up everything that we've known to be true or known how to do. Beliefs are layers upon layers on the isness of truth. Being honest is natural for the soul. It is pure and has no agenda. Being honest with other people means to open up your heart to others, which can be felt as leaving your comfort or security zone. But we will feel a pull within us to be honest and true to ourselves and others in every moment, even if it doesn't please everyone. To be love does not mean to give from ego beliefs. It means to know and give from a loving integrity, from a part of you that loves yourself. We can feel bad or drained because sometimes we do things we don't like to do. It is the ego that thinks we have to do things for others, or they may be disappointed or won't love us. This concept is based on fear. We have no obligations because we are free beings with spontaneous creativity. It is a huge step to say no from your heart with integrity rather than saying yes from your ego because you feel obligated. Integrity is good to practice because it teaches you about your energy field. Remind yourself when you make a choice, I will act with loving integrity. People may want you to come back to their reality or feel discomfort because you awaken a deeper choice within them, beyond the logical mind that connects them with their hearts. Just as you have to learn to drive a car, taking back basic driving lessons, you are learning to be the driver of your experience. To harmonize your heart, mind, and ego is a process that comes in waves of integration and self-realization. Depression is so common in today's world, and that's because we don't care to feel anymore, because we can't see the full meaning of life. It may feel like a repeating dance. In the deepest depressions, there is the greatest light, because we feel so alone and so helpless that we just give up. This is where we begin to know who we truly are. When we doubt, we are afraid. We choose to become strong through emotional stretching. I would call it that because it awakens a higher dimension within that is not possible through external experience. We integrate and become compassion. We grow like sensitive flowers in the middle of chaos. We have to learn to trust our own inner knowingness, and taking the so-called leap of faith is a hardcore choice. There aren't many people who by free will jump straight into the unknown with a smile on their face. The ego becomes paralyzed and does everything it can to hold on to the past by creating a secure future. I must personally say that the times of security are gone because we don't need to protect ourselves. We need to step into our love and be who we truly are. Layers of identification and beliefs are being peeled off. The comfort zone of our ego is being stretched beyond the me and mine. This is threatening to the ego, and we become depressed because it feels like we are losing ourselves, a very loved part of ourselves. Every moment is filled with love, and you can be in love now. Know that you are loved, and through this energy, a loving integrity will be born, which will and can say no to things it couldn't before. Love is knowing yourself and your energy. You know yourself so well, but layers and more layers are cluttered together, so you have forgotten about self-love, which isn't egoic. It's loving integrity, which will mirror and make people remember that we have a self-responsibility to love ourselves first, and then we can give from that, or else we will feel drained. When egos speak to each other, it's mostly about, listen to me because I need attention. When the hearts speak to each other, it's unconditional love in silence and pure knowingness without adding anything. People who connect through their hearts do not need to convince or prove to anyone about who they are. It will simply shine through effortlessly. You will be guiding people with the silence of your heart and the energy you are emanating. It's all about vibrational attitude. We see a lot of arguing or egos smashing together. It's all a part of the integration of loving integrity and self-love. Don't take it personally. It's when we think we are the little me or personal that we easily get dragged into the drama and want to feed it. Our emotional body loves drama. It's like fuel. The transition from an ego-reactive mind to a non-attached, active, clear mind is a process, and it cannot come all at once. It would make people crazy. We get as much as we can handle. The spiritual heart is like a muscle. It is being trained and stretched in ways we couldn't even imagine. What is being done on this planet hasn't been experienced anywhere else. When the heart is so stretched and we think we can't handle anything more because it's too much, we will notice we can love even more. There is no limit. I understand the ego. It feels like it wants to have control over these higher dimensional frequencies. It wants to figure it out, but it never can. So it will surrender as a servant of the heart instead of being a controlling leader. We are moving beyond the boundaries where no one has gone before. Predictions aren't the way. It's all about trust and letting go of everything you know and receiving what is yours to receive. The ego would call this foolish or say, be careful, it may be dangerous. Your heart will say, I am ready. When the emotional tidal waves are hitting your nervous system, it's good to meditate. Dwell in the 0 point, an unconditional, non-attached, neutral energy. Being neutral is not being ignorant. It is a state of beingness that harmonizes and revitalizes your body and mind. It is the center of yin and yang. It is our ego that's afraid of being ignorant. Our hearts don't know ignorance. It's allowing, all loving and forgiving. You are becoming a new you. You will look back at yourself, the self you are now, and smile because you will understand that you had layers upon layers of idea beliefs that you thought were you. Our thoughts are like programs in a computer, but the actual programmer is you. Instead of incarnating in a new body, you are incarnating your heart and light consciousness right here and now. You don't have to leave your body to experience who you are. Balance and harmony are keywords you should focus on. The ego loves to be in love and doesn't like to be negative. That's why we are thrown back and forth. It's the law of duality. It's the rubber band effect. Find your center. Dwell in the trust and integrate it into every cell, knowing that you are the path, that there is no separation between you and your highest joy. All of this may seem like mere words, but I'm sharing these words on a carpet of loving intent, which will be understood by the heart. You are bringing the true nature of love into the world just by being who you are. Taking small steps at a time, you are like a flower growing. You can't force anything from the ground. It will grow slowly and with grace. The sensitivity of your body energy will rise, so take time for yourself and listen to what it needs. Simplicity, love, and truth. Be the highest version of yourself. BenArion. You can download or find a link to BenArion's contact information, his website, as well as a free manifestation checklist that he has offered in the description box below this video. Namaste, Lucille.